So this week was pretty all over the place, but I did get my money tree repotted, and even though it lost a leaf in the repotting, I'm hoping it'll repropagate itself. There it is in its full glory, and I'm really proud of it. There's King Rootin' Tootin', if any of you guys watched The Three Stooges. I also received a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful package from Single Leaf Ceramics. This company is owned by, I guess, a co-worker of mine on the site that I stream on, and she is amazing with pottery. She is an amazing artist. She is so talented, and as you can see, I mean, you guys haven't seen my business cards, but hers are supreme in comparison to mine. Mine are potato. But look at these little shot glasses. Because of coronavirus, there's been like a big discrepancy about it, at least in my opinion, and no one's told me this, but in my opinion, I've asked and it's been confirmed, that, you know, we really want to hold off on shipping things. But when you're a part of one of my clubs where I stream, then you get goodies. So we came up with the idea kind of collectively. I suggested it, and Cam Fam was like, cool. We're gonna do spring boxes, which now it's kind of turned into summer, but we'll call it the spring and summer collection. Yeah. So I ordered these from her, and I'm so excited for Cam Fam to pick out whichever one they enjoy the most themselves. And of course, she was so kind to include stickers, because if you don't know already, I am a sticker slut. Absolutely 100%. I love them.
Damn, just there's nobody sitting in the corner. I already had my breakfast, now I'm just a yawner. I'm gonna lay down here with my mama, and we're gonna get through today with no drama. Chauncey, you're just really cute. I love that you sit in this corner. I fucking love you.
I ended up doing a lot of yard work. The landscapers trimmed about maybe 2/3 of that pile, and I trimmed about the last third of it. But the problem is they put in a new ordinance in my city of you can't have trees or shrubs or bushes higher than 4 feet against a fence line, which is just like insane, but whatever. So I had to cut down one of my mulberry trees, which you can't really see the basketball hoop, but it's right to the left of my truck there, and it was growing up against there. Like, I hate my city. I hate where I live. Like, I love my house, but I hate where I live. But if any of you have been following me on Twitter for maybe the past couple of years or so, you'll know that I have what I refer to as asshole neighbors. That is all I will say. I've gone through enough stories via tweets. I don't need to elaborate here, but case in point, they have a fence-aggressive dog, and my Cocker Spaniel Pippi can fit her nose through the slats in the fence. Like, as you can see, it's closed, but there's like gaps in between the woodwork. So if you look at my fence on the left, on the right, I don't know my left from my right, versus the fence in the middle, you see the difference. Like, my fence is, you can really only get a finger in between the boards, and you know, that's all you can do. But the way their fence is, it's like alternative stacking, so you can pretty much get, like, I can get my whole fist almost between the fence slats. So the problem is that their dog's nose fits through, my dog's nose fits through, and my dog has been bitten a few times. So I found this awesome vinyl wrap at Menards, which I'm super happy about, and was super cheap. I think it was like 30-something bucks for the whole roll. I still have a bunch left over. You can kind of see rolled up in the back. It's not the most professional, stable job, but hey, it got the job done. Just a little extra precautionary method there with my old fence slats, but so be it. And well, I think you guys have seen the flower in my front porch, which got hit by a horrible storm that we had, but it is finally blooming again. I'm so happy my daisies are gonna be blooming again. It has another sprout or bloom opening up this morning, which is just beautiful to wake up to when I'm getting the paper. Which I recently subscribed to the Chicago Sun-Times, and I love it. I never imagined myself being a newspaper person, yet here I am being a newspaper person. But I digress. The bit that's rolled up on the end still, I do believe there's more than enough to create a set of like doorway curtains and a side panel curtain for my front porch, because that is on the side of my house that has my asshole neighbors, and I'd quite like to, while I'm figuring out what I want to do with my patio, and it's kind of overgrown and just a big mess full of random potters that I need to do things with. My patio has essentially become a weed and gardening center. So I think it would be pragmatic to kind of curtain off the front porch so I can like hang out outside out there, but not have to deal with the sun sensitivity that I deal with. And it could be just simply hemmed, put up with tension rods, and then I can just sew on a couple of ties like on a tent where the outdoor animals, because there's 3 cats that I'm feeding outdoors right now and a possum that lives in my yard. And they come up on the porch, and they have a cat carrier I have out there to snuggle up in if they want to, and they get food out there every day, and I have a water bowl that can be heated for in the winter, and yeah, so I don't want to make them feel like they're locked out of that at all, so I can totally put that up at night and then just like halfway down during the day and down when I'm out there. I know it seems counterproductive to like go outside into an enclosed space, but I'm just so light sensitive, but I miss being outside so much. I really do. I miss it so much. Baby mulberries. I was not seeing them. There was a branch under here I was cutting, and I was like, oh no, I shouldn't cut you, because there was a whole bunch of them, but maybe I did end up doing it. Because I keep seeing like these, which to me looked like buds, but could have also been new leaf growth, I don't know. But I do believe that's a bud. Maybe coming in from this side. I know I saw them everywhere, and I was like, oh, I knew I was right. But where, I don't know. And I did cut off the branch that had a bunch of them. But look, there's a whole cluster of them starting. These are gonna be delicious. The dogs are gonna love eating them off the ground, and birds are gonna make a mess with them, and I'm gonna love these more coming out here to munch on these. It's okay. So I can't wait to munch you. I'm tempted to pull this guy who looks right. Oh, you just kind of fell off anyway. Well, down the hatch. A bird flew right under my feet, right as I bit that. So it was super tiny and not much flavor to it, but definitely sweet. Definitely tasted like a mulberry. Duh. Yay. I'm tired now.
flowering too. I was actually wondering for a while because this tree produced fruit a couple years ago, a little bit. So I thought maybe this one was, they grew at the same time. I thought maybe this one up by, there's stuff there, the porch was maybe like male or female, whatever produces fruit, and that one was opposite gender. But turns out that they're both sexes of the trees produce fruit, or I don't know. Oh, heck, and I'm coming in on this guy too. Oh, so fabulous. I do need to get about to trimming this guy because he's going into my gutters there. And that's not so good. You can see from the storm too, all of the branches that just got like destroyed and died, and I want to cut those out of there because I was able to get those out of these mostly. My walnut tree, I want to go up, 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 which it's doing. I think I'm going to end up tying these 3 bottom forks together, which is really interesting. It forked out in 3 different places. Technically 4, but that I'm trimming, and that is so helpful right now. But I think I'm going to tie this guy together so that he bunches more upward. I still have no idea what kind of tree this is. I don't know. Him soft though. It looks like maybe it's gonna... Oh, I think this is the one that produces the purple flowers. Oh no, this is the one that does the purple flowers. So there's one that's starting up there, but I don't know when it's going to flower. I don't see too many more buds. I started trimming it down accidentally, but it's like grown out of and with the mulberry tree. Don't know what to do about that awkward branch, but it exists. But yeah, this guy doing pretty good too. I think everyone is getting an awesome height balance. Yay. But yeah, I need to trim this thing down from my gutters. But they're not good.
The landscapers also, I trimmed along that fence line a little bit, and I left my plants that I love that are actually weeds, and I didn't block them off the way they are now, which is totally just shitty rigged, but whatever. And then the landscapers weed whacked them. I'm like, oh my god, that's great, cool. But they're weeds and they'll grow back, but that's why the goofy little junk table and piece of chunk of chicken wire of whatever you want to call it, I don't know. But there's the backyard as a whole. My jungle, that's not so much of a jungle. I did a thing. Since I've been sick, and honestly I have terrible social anxiety, but also I have been sick, so that is my reasoning for staying out of any vulnerable population protesting right now. But there are active protests in my area lately, and that makes me feel really good about my community. So Chauncey and but Chauncey just is being a cutie boy and totally supports everything. Put the sign up in the front yard, and we are so happy with it. And it arrived on Juneteenth of all days. I think that was the perfect time for it to get here. Something else I did this week in the middle of all of my wild, I shouldn't even say wild cam streams, I should more say along the lines of my feeling manic and lack of sleep and still trying to keep up on social media and keep every bit of my voice going as possible and be present for our 9 minutes of silence, 9 minutes of silence every day in honor and respect of George that's been the goal of the week, is to really just focus on those streams and make them possible and stay consistent with that. I think that's really important, and to my knowledge now there's another model doing so as well, and that's a ripple effect, baby. That's a ripple effect. But we'll get on to my bamboozles here, and I'll go off on my stuff again momentarily. So there was 5 of these that I finally decided to repot together. Originally, like 2 years ago, I was going to pot 3 of them, my bamboo plants, into a potter, but I have sweet potato in those planters, or in that planter outside now. So I had no choice but to use a bigger one, and so I figured I'd stick most of my bamboos in there, because honestly, every time I go to Petco, I buy a bamboo. Like, I can't stop myself. When you go to get the cat litter, you walk by the plants, and I can't stop myself. I have no self-control. So this is what ended up coming from all of that, after, of course, Chauncey made sure that, okay, yeah, Mom's doing something okay here. There's our finished product of the transplant, and how beautiful it all is. I was a little bit nervous at first because it got droopy, it seemed, yesterday, but it's definitely perked back up today, and I love the variation of colors between everyone, and I'm so super happy that I found my stool that I can just stick in the corner in the bathroom there, because they were in hanging planters in the bathroom before, so they don't have to change their environment whatsoever. And then, not pictured, I also did plant snapdragons on the windowsill there, which they sprouted up. They rooted their little cute heads yesterday as well, and I'm so pumped for them to get a little bit more mature so that they can go in ground. While we just take a moment and look up at the sky here, I would just really like to ask everyone to reflect on the world around them, and how can we do better to do our best, and how can we do our best to do better, and how can we look at our society as a whole and the differences between our economic demographics, and what can we do to create a shift there? What can we do to create a change there? What can we do to provide adequate, accessible, and equal opportunities for all? I think that's a really big, important question.
You doodles. Aww! You did the same thing.
I do still like to send him funny money though, and like just little pocket change because he doesn't drive anymore, even though he still thinks he has his license, but he doesn't. We just convince him very well not to drive. But I thought he would think that a paper heart is cute folded like that, and I'm really glad he didn't rip it in half, and he was very grateful for it. He said it was very sweet, even though it would have been better if I delivered it in person. But like, oh my God, Grandpa, I don't want to get us all sick. But that's something that's very important to me, and something that I'm very grateful for that I get to do at this point in my life is, even though I know that he is well off, I know he has his limitations on what he can and can't do financially these days, and he really can't get himself in trouble with cash. It's only like credit cards or checks he can get himself in trouble with, so I have no problem giving him funny money in his retirement community now, and giving him like $100, $200 every time I used to see him and visit him when he was having a 24-hour caregiver finally in home. But that's what prompted the move. Oh my God, this went to short story to long story. I got my grandpa a really cute card. That's about all there is to it. And it came with this really neat thing that he didn't say anything about. I don't know if he just threw it away or if he just set it aside to look at it later, but I guess if you like put it between your hands, it reveals a secret message. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I didn't know the card would come with that, but the same thing came in the card from my father too. I think this was a perfectly apt card for him. Courage, work ethic, and a sense of humor, a few swear words. Every day, I use something you taught me, Dad. And truer words never spoken. That's all we have to say about that one.
A new bed? Is it? Hi, Pibby. Is it just for you and 3PO? It's just for you and 3PO. Can I see him? Can I see him? Thank you. Wait. So I'm gonna try to. I said wait. Sit. Thank you. Hi, Pibby. Is that your bed, Chauncey? Good job, Pippi. Is that your bed, Chauncey? You got a big boy bed now. It's all for you, baby. It's all for you, handsome baby. Oh my goodness. Now he's all into his toy and like, oh my God, this is great. But when I first got it out and gave it to him, he's like, oh my God, Mom, a bed for me? And just wagged his tail and collapsed into the bed in my body like, oh, Mom. Now you're just the happiest camper. You are. You are. You got 3PO and you got your own bed. But I think this will be, thank you for sharing that. Usually I have blankets down here for them, and when it's storming, he tends to curl up here or in the top corner of my bed, or when he gets really confused or worn out, goes down here. I think he feels safe with my bed here and the staircase and Baka blanket there. And I think it'll help more so that this is like raised on the edges, so it should give him like that good nesting, burrowing feeling. So all in all, Chauncey got a new bed. Baby's first big boy bed. It's baby's first big boy bed. Do you put a hole in 3PO? No, I'm just showing everyone how you put a hole in 3PO. You think you're so tough guy. Come on, you think you're so tough guy. I just want to show everyone you chew that while I show.
That's the hole in 3PO so far, but he hasn't pulled any stuffing out of him, so. Try and take the rope side. Fair warning with Chauncey, like this sounds menacing. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. He knows he's on camera too. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the ball. Drop it. You know better. Let go. Let be. Drop it. Drop it. You're just being a ham right now. Drop it. Drop it. Well, now you're just holding my fingers. Chauncey is very vocal. Wait. I hold. So, take that. He's normal. He's not, like, mean. He's not going to, like, bite me. He's going to make funny sounds. Pibby. Apparently we're just the funny sound house, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Chauncey, you don't have to growl. Chauncey, you don't have to growl. You don't have to. Pibby, of course, doesn't need to bark either, but there's something about can't teach an old dog new tricks, and it applies to her. But with Chauncey, it's really interesting. You're so fucking cute. It's really interesting what... Stop it. I realized with him and his body language, like, he genuinely feels he needs to sound menacing, but there is no part of him that is menacing whatsoever. Big old pibble. Barely gumming on the end of 3PO. Am I gonna have to throw that piece away? Are you gonna rip it up? Yeah. That's what we do. How about you chew on the rope part? There you go. The rope is good. Did you get your only and first big boy bed? Well, not only, because I'm sure you'll get more beds forward, but usually we just buy like toddler mattresses instead of dog beds. But this one was, usually these beds are really fucking expensive. This one was on sale and I had coupons and gift cards and it was like $30. So like, holy fuck. That's really the only reason you have a dog bed, buddy. I love you, but dog beds is expensive. We're gonna buy toddler mattresses that are like $30 instead of the $120 large dog beds. But because this one was able to be gotten so cheap, it's like, yes, we are making the moves. We are getting the baby boy his first big boy bed. Yes.